And then there's drug legalization. Liberals' push to legalize marijuana, high THC content, and even hard drugs is an unfolding societal and environmental disaster. Now, legalizing weed in California has led to an explosion of cartel-operated illegal grows in our national and state forests.
That was Laura Ingraham claiming that liberals' push to legalize marijuana is an unfolding societal and environmental disaster. Now, before I continue, if you've watched me here and you're used to me citing my sources and including references to other material, well, you're still going to get that in this video, but I didn't watch the Ingraham Report's entire segment. For the sake of context, I can only take so much. So I don't know what point she's trying to make, but she included this NPR article that I read about how water and wildlife in the nation's public forests are slowly being poisoned by insecticides and other chemicals used in illegal marijuana operations. And since Fox is an entertainment entity with talk show hosts, not journalists, I'm assuming that this is a cherry-picked source that they didn't read themselves and is being misappropriated, seeing how illegal pot operations in public forests are poisoning wildlife and water. In a state where weed is legal, as Ingraham said, which shows that it's not the weed itself or its legality that's the problem. The operation is. It's right in the title. So it's the devastating results of greed on the environment. Quote, the true crime here is the fact that they're killing off basically America's public lands, killing off the wildlife, killing off our water. This is stuff that you know it's not going to repair itself. I hope she's not making this out to be a red state, blue state thing to own the libs, seeing how Oklahoma is going through something similar to Cali, and weed is clearly also grown in states where it's illegal. Anyways, what I want to focus on briefly is a growing demographic of people who are smoking or using weed, or cannabis, or pot, or marijuana, and that's the Fox News viewer. More specifically, I mean the 65-plus-year-old white conservative who has yet to cut the cord and is more likely to get their news from cable or TV in general. Yeah, according to a recent study in the Journal of American Medical Association, cannabis use among older adults, defined as 65 and older, in the U.S. has been steadily increasing. In this study, the prevalence of past year use increased from 2.4% to 4.2% from 2015 to 2018. This study is consistent with other research, as well as other reports from physicians who recommend cannabis in their daily practices. According to Harvard Health Publishing, a confluence of factors seem to be responsible, including the decrease in stigma associated with cannabis use and the increased interest in the use of medical marijuana by older patients. Stigma is a complicated issue, but most would agree that the stigma associated with cannabis use is lessening, especially for medical cannabis. In a recent poll, 94% of Americans voiced support for legal access to medical marijuana, and most states have approved some form of legal access. Drug cartels and workers are trying to sell weed to Laura Ingraham's audience, and they're not destroying the environment in order to grow it because it's legal. I'm hoping that her audience of tokers, if they somehow watch me too, can get her to quit placing a stigma on a drug that they find beneficial and should be legal everywhere. Which will come with its own problems, sure, like a lot of other drugs that are prescribed right now. So I wouldn't have to tell her, and I wouldn't have to watch her show, in or out of context. Have you met Anna Paulina Luna? Whether or not you have, who she is may change, but you can find out more about her by watching this video. Find the link in the description below. And you can also find me on my YouTube channel, We Gonna Be Alright, or just click on the Jeff Wiggins hashtag. As always, my architect knows Japanese.